All right, friends, you don't need me to say this, but it is hot out there and it is humid too. These recipes are ready for a disaster if your home or business has any sort of leak or crack or compromise. I am here with Carlos Lopez, owner of Carlos and the Mold Team, and he is here to tackle any problem that you might have. We're so happy to hear it. Welcome in.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, say your slogan. I love it so much.
Your problem is our priority.
Okay, we love to hear it. So how are you helping out the community?
So we help out the community in a lot of ways. We primarily tackle mold, water damage, and air quality issues, especially now with so much rain that's been happening over the last few weeks. I mean, you can just understand it's been very busy, but also with a lot of that rain is bringing a lot of bacteria issues into homes, unwanted bacteria, and people are calling us with a lot of health issues.
Okay, so let's say you do go in someone's home, what are you looking for?
So there's a few signs. We use thermal imaging technology on every home that we go to. With thermal imaging, that allows us to look through the walls, the floors, the ceilings to see any temperature changes, moisture, water damage inside areas that you physically can't see.
Yeah.
Typically, when water damage happens on a home, it normally starts in areas that you can't see, and when it starts to leak, that's typically the end result where it's tired of hiding right now.
Yes, and it's been like that for a little while. Let's talk about attics and crawl spaces, places that we don't necessarily hang out in.
Correct.
How do those play a role in air quality?
So that's a great question. So a lot of folks, just like you said, we don't hang out in our attics and our crawl spaces, right? So crawl spaces and attics actually contribute to over 50% of the air quality in your home. So if your attic is humid or your crawl space doesn't have the vapor liners or there's mold or bacteria hiding in the crawl space, those spores and that air will eventually make its way into the home, over 50% of that air. So just imagine a lot of calls that we get with homeowners that say, well, I get home and I'm sick every time that I'm here. 50% of the time, it's because of an attic issue or a crawl space issue. So it's very important to have your crawl space encapsulated, vapor liners, dehumidifiers in some cases, and always make sure that there is no mold or other bacteria hiding in your attic, because it does make a big difference.
I would imagine not a lot of homes out there have the vapor liners.
You'd be surprised, and you're absolutely correct. Most people don't realize they don't until they're either selling or purchasing a home. So that's what, one of our specialties is. When people call us, they say, hey, there's something going on funky in my crawl space, but I'm too scared to go down there. They call us, we'll go down there, we'll assess it, we'll address everything that is needed for that home. Because not every home is made the same. So what one home may need, the other home may not need. So it's very important to get a professional down there to assess exactly what you need, or us.
Yes, very good. Well, okay, so we've got to talk about water damage. Obviously, he mentioned it at the top, and we've had these crazy storms lately. How quickly should we call you if we think that there might be a leak, or how do we avoid mold? So basically,
that's a great question. And most folks, when they get water damage into their home from the outside, remember that rain is carrying outside water. It's unfiltered. It's bringing in all the bacteria, the dirt, the pests, the rodents, all of that from the outside into your house. So the moment you notice there is a water issue in your home, you need to call us right away. Mold can start within as little as a few hours if it goes undetected or unnoticed. And the biggest mistake that we see is homeowners trying to do the drying on their own. There are machines out there and special techniques that you have to do to properly dry the frame of the home, and then also identify how the water got in. Simply having a home fan, it just blows and circulates airborne bacteria and spores around the house. So it really has no effect on drying other than spreading bacteria through the house.
So interesting. I probably would have done the same thing, I admit, because I'm not educated in this. I'm so glad you're here. But I did learn, mold can cause allergic reactions. It can cause respiratory issues and so many other things that could be worse.
Absolutely.
I want to hear a success story from you.
Well, we have a lot of success stories. And before I go into that, one of the biggest misconceptions when people do see mold in their home is cleaning it with bleach. People do not clean any mold with bleach. It doesn't work. It will actually mask the appearance and actually come back stronger. So bleach does not work on preventing mold and the spread of mold. But success stories, we get them all the time, especially from parents that have children with respiratory issues or autoimmune issues, and they don't know what's going on. And lately, a lot of doctors don't know how to diagnose mold allergies. You know, it's like, hey, going to the doctor and saying, hey, I have a pollen allergy. A lot of times they're going to send you home. Mold is very different because it attacks the body in so many different ways that, you know, you have brain fog, aching bones, dry mouth, loss of appetite, headaches, forgetting things before you start to notice respiratory issues. So, you know, a lot of our success stories comes from parents that have said, hey, my child is breathing a lot better since you guys came in and performed your services, or from, you know, sometimes the elderly, hey, I can feel better in my body and my bones. It's literally one of those things that if you believe you have a mold issue or air quality issue at home, call us right away so we can get out there and get to the root of the problem.
Very good. You heard it here. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. It was a
That was so
pleasure.
informative. Okay, guys, they are the gold standard in mold and air quality. Clearly, you heard him. Remember, your problem is his priority. Book your consultation at moldteamnash.com.